Hey, 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 friends, family, citizens of this our earth. You join me out on a dog stroll on the old Lurchy Pup, and well, we're in what's supposed to be winter. Doesn't really feel very wintry. We're here in December, and there's basically no frost. There's still some leaves on the odd tree, but autumn's definitely taken hold. And I was thinking it might be interesting to have a discussion on narratives, because whenever something large has happened within society, or there's been a certain change in direction, it's always based around this lead. Not working very well. It's always based around a collective narrative. Now, every society has a narrative throughout history, and we seem to be in an era where our narrative is one of consumption, placation, and indifference, and also asking for someone else to solve our problems, relying on the intelligence or capabilities of other people to think, because we don't really trust ourselves. We don't really have confidence in ourselves. And I think a lot of the disastrous things that we're facing now, and the ability to get us to march in goose step towards what benefits the small few or the large corporate entities that now seem to run and control every facet of your life. I think that comes from a narrative that believes that you're not enough. So even when you're listening to these people that are, claiming to be trying to help you to find your way home, the way you'll find your way home is by buying their products, signing up to their courses, spending an awful amount of money. And in truth, when you look at a lot of the people that are selling this, you can actually see that they're caught in the same narrative, in that if you watch how they're living their lives, they're always stretching for something just outside of their comprehension. So what's the answer to this? Why do people feel, how do we stop people from feeling like the only way to fill that void in their day-to-day lives is to buy more things and to be more successful in people's perception of you? Well, I think the answer is courage, which is the whole reason why I'm doing Only for the Brave. Because if we had the courage to actually look at where we are realistically, not just you as an individual or me as an individual with our phones, our clothes, our houses, our places to live, our friends and families, but where we are as a collective, you're going to hear a lot of spiritual teachers or life coaches or mindfulness coaches or people with podcasts and large audiences. You're going to hear them talk a lot of times about how we're all one. But then at the same time, you're going to see them jumping in private jets with all their buddies, burning up a load of fuel, posting about how they're splurging this and splurging that. And if we're all one, there seems to be a real disconnect between what we comprehend as all being one, in that trying to do things for the good of all, or what we elect to be as we are all one, in that, hey, we're all one thing. You shouldn't be mean to me, I shouldn't be mean to you, because we're all one thing. But I can go and burn up whatever I want, I can consume at whatever rate I want, and I don't have to put back I heard it once said, and this should rattle in the heads of these people that claim to live as if they are men. I heard it once said that men produce, whereas boys consume. And if your ego is so out of whack with your environment that no matter how much you consume, you're still looking to give people a higher perspective through relieving them of their cash and showing them pretty visuals and things like that, I think you come a long way from what we are actually capable of. This earth is only in a bad way because of what we've done to it, right? The pollution, deforestation, carbon, the carbon filling. But it's also in a prime place to be made into something truly beautiful. And if you can let go of the idea that these people, through your schooling and through your education system, these people are so smart and they know everything, because we can't be that fucking smart, can we? Because we've destroyed the planet we live on. Not that much of a smart move. I mean, the mycelium in the ground that does all this jazz and was here at least 1.4 billion years ago, whereas trees, I believe, are about 600 million years old. So the mycelium in the ground that formed this amazingness that we live in is clearly quite a lot more intelligent than the man or the woman that sets about destroying it. So I think that our new narrative, which is only for the brave, is to realise that we don't know shit all. And it's time that we started looking back to nature and back to the old ways. I heard it said by someone the other week that they thought I was just a fucking romantic for the old ways, because I've studied some Hermeticism, sacred geometry, Tai Chi, breath work, and it's changed my life. It's brought me to a place where I feel confident enough to make these videos. I really enjoy my day to day. If I could put in a pill how I feel now compared to how I used to feel, if I could put that in a pill and sell it, I'd have more money than I knew what to do with. But I know what I'd do with that money. I'd work on rebuilding the world. So I think it's very easy to look at all the stuff that's going on around you and feel like it's completely out of your control. But if 100,000 of us join together in an act to plant more trees, to protect the wildlife, to clean up our woods, to pick up some rotten old logs from outside in the forest and bring them back to your garden, to encourage some insect life in your garden, to help feed your birds, or put on the roof, put them out where you park your car, down by the garages or whatever, depending on your own situation. I'm sick to this. I'm sick to death of the narrative that we aren't enough. As individuals that have come together throughout history, we sailed the oceans, built the pyramids, launched spaceships, done all of these things through human intelligence. But a long time ago, before they burnt the libraries of Alexandria, we have no idea what man was capable of. And it's easier to pretend that you have no power. Because if you pretend that you have no power, then you have no control. And if your narrative is that you are not enough, then you can sign off to someone else to fix everything that's going on. But you are enough, and I am enough. And if we support each other, and we find new ways to connect, ways that aren't just based around finance. I've helped quite a few people, through Only for the Brave, and there's no cash sum that feels the same as somebody leaving you a message in the morning telling you that they really get it, and then hearing from them over the next couple of weeks about how happy they are, about how much easier it is to face their problems. And being brave obviously does not mean that your problems aren't going to come. It doesn't mean that you're always aggressive. In fact, sometimes it means you just walk away. But I think we can change what's going on around us. I think we can change it for the better. We can change it for our kids, because there's a lot of people out there with businesses and on the hunt, sacrificing all the time they could spend with their children instead to spend making money whilst destroying the planet that they're going to be leaving for their children. I don't know if there's some underhand game afoot to allow these problems to happen, or if there's actually a plan to make this world a place where we can all live expressing ourselves freely. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like a lot of our laws are draconian, and they're also only obeyed by those of us that are at the lower rung of the ladder. It feels that our understanding of nature is so far removed that, you know, most of us don't even know what we can eat in the forest. And there's a lot you can eat in the forest. And it feels like our love for life has sort of dissipated. People have a lot of love for TikTok or funny videos. I mean, have you noticed how short your attention span's got now? How many phone numbers can you remember? You know? How many people's addresses can you remember? When was the last time you listened to or watched something that went on for a few hours and you really gave it your full attention? We've been turned into this sugar-sucking, quick fix, drone being that isn't being, and we're so consumed with the fear of death. But we're all going to die, and the woods that are around you live on. So if you can find a way inside of yourself to think about how you're connected to the earth, how you're a part of the earth, how you're an unbroken chain from every single one of your ancestors to you right now, is an unbroken link of life. And the woods that surround you, the stars that you look upon, definitely the stars that you look upon are the very same stars that your ancestors watched. And when you return to the woods and you spend some time of an evening breathing and being in the forest, that's not a strange thing. It's a normal thing, because your body has, not your body, but your ancestors, your evolution, your soul, your DNA has done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times. But when you sit inside on social media, scrolling through, flicking and clicking and splitting your brain into pieces, this is a very unusual thing. There's nothing normal about it. And really, if you were honest with yourself, you'd probably be able to see that it doesn't benefit you. It just makes you feel stressed or anxious. And I've been off all of those platforms for a year, and my life is so much better for it. So I just wanted to say that I think it's time we have a new narrative. And I think that narrative is one where I believe in you. Even though I don't know you, I know that you've gone through some dark days. I know that you've faced some struggles. I know that sometimes it feels like it's all a bit too much. But there is a way. There is a way to connect deep inside of yourself, to move those things that lock you down and stress you out, to change them, to transmute that energy. Emotion is your energy in motion. And when you do your deep breath work, which takes courage, which is why a lot of people, they know that it works and they feel that they can't do it, because they lack that courage. Because sometimes courage isn't just to pursue, but to let go. The story of Odin hanging on the Yggdrasil is a story of sacrificing yourself to yourself, so as you can reach down. Sometimes you have to go down to go up. This is the paradoxical world that we live in. This is the tree's roots reaching to hell in order for the tree to reach to heaven. So Odin sacrificed himself on the Yggdrasil, the tree of life, the tree that runs through the 9 dimensions. And in doing so, he was given the runes. And the runes directly relate to how you can live your life in touch and in balance with nature. But this concept of sacrificing yourself to yourself is one of the ones that is a concept that requires the utmost courage. The utmost courage. Because you have to look at the life that you've built, the one that gives you your perceived security, the safe job, the good social media feed, the fancy clothes, the nice car, the smooth haircut, all the things that stop you from standing out and keep you just another homogenous, same as everyone else drone. You have to be willing to take those things and throw them away and say, my car does not define me, my job does not define me, my smile, my spirit, the way I am when people need me, the way I am when I am needed, the courage that I have to look at someone else and say, you did an amazing job at that. Do you know, you're so much better at doing that than I am. And to mean it, to honestly look at other people and say, I love you. To see people trying to catch you in their drama and to say, I can see what you're doing. I'm not willing to trade blows with you. But when you're ready to let go, I'm ready to be here. This is sacrificing yourself to yourself. This is the true work from what I can see. And there's many charlatans out there who have done very well having really interesting people come and talk to them. But it's the interesting people we should be giving our time to and following, not just the ones hosting them. And for all those that have hosted the interesting people on your podcasts, on your shows, I'm and many others are grateful for your work. But we just want to know when you're also going to wake the fuck up to the fact the mission's so much bigger. It's so much bigger than your fucking ego and how you think that because you eat a pussy that's been on a transatlantic flight in your poetry you're some sort of mano up mano. It's bigger than that. And if you've built the resources and you're truly a brave, then you'll be ready. You'll be ready to sacrifice yourself to yourself. You'll be ready to bring those resources and to bring that force and to come together. Because united, we truly do stand. And divided, we truly do fall. Because we fall for anything when we let them tell us we're small. But we're not small, and we're not just their tools. We are the braves. We've walked this earth before, and we will walk it again, perhaps in a different form. And I don't need a pen to make poetry. I'll just tell you the truth. We are the braves, and it's time we cut loose. Big love to you all. This is our earth, and it's about time we started defending it and defending each other. I'm Mark Desmond. This was a little chat in the woods. We did nearly 20 minutes. So, puppy dog had a good time. And now we give it a little howl. Ow! And if you're out there and you're a brave, maybe you'll give me one back. Big love, everyone.